What is up there, everybody? Citrus Aviation here for yet another video. And today, we have model aircraft news for October 2023. It's been a while since I did an episode. I think the last episode came out in August, and that was the June and July news cycle video. But here we have the October one. It's been a while since I've done one. You may notice that the consistency of uploads has returned, which I'm really happy about. So, we got the news, and let's talk about what's going to happen here for this news video. Hey, this is editing Citrus Aviation from the future here at my new apartment, and this video is being recorded late because it's going to end up being the October-November video because I did a move. I accepted a new job in Salt Lake City, Utah, and then I moved out here. All that took about, 3 or so weeks to process, about 3 or 4 weeks to process. And so that's the reason there hasn't been any videos for a while. Yes, I was actually at 2 videos a week consistency, but then I had to drop everything and quickly move out of my old place and then move here to Salt Lake. So that's what happened. That's why the video's taking a while. This will end up being the October/November episode. So that's what's going on here. So thank you all so much for your patience and for watching the video. So first off, as usual, we got the headline news, and the big one is the Delta ERJ-175 was finally released by Gemini Jets. Now this is really one of the last big models that North American collectors have been waiting for that has not existed in any form yet in 400 or 200 scale, which are the scales that are usually covered on this. So I cover a few other scales occasionally, like 72nd and 500 scale, but would like to cover those more. But primarily we deal with on this, so we primarily will deal with the 200 and 400 scales. And so Gemini Jets released the 400 scale version, which was the more anticipated version, honestly, and the one that I was waiting for, although I'm going to buy both. But it's a great model, and hopefully Gemini Jets does a good job with the model. They recently did like I forget the airline is, JC Wings. We'll talk about in the JC Wings section of the video. But they recently did a special version of a 175 for a Japanese airline, and the model still has a couple of issues. So I'm concerned that maybe the Delta one will have some issues too in terms of the quality, but we're not going to know until the model comes out. At this point, we still have just, at the time I'm recording, we have just the CGI image to go by. When the pictures come out, which from the time I'm recording this, probably about the time the video goes live, is when we're going to see the actual photos of the model. And it'll be interesting to see how much uproar that causes, because this is a highly desired model. Gemini Jets has made one correction though this time, and that is that this time they are producing many more samples and versions of this model instead of last time with the Delta CRJ-900, where they didn't produce too many, and same thing with the American CRJ-900. Those two didn't make many of those, and there weren't enough to go around. So that caused a sort of the high price increase. The claims that a certain YouTuber, who I don't know who that could be, who apparently bought all of them, supposedly. I have no idea who that could be. But they definitely didn't produce enough to meet demand, and they had to do a second run later, a couple months later, to try and fill some of that demand. It still wasn't enough. This time, Gemini Jets has promised me that there will be plenty of these made to go around to fit all of the desires of collectors. So I'll be able to get plenty, you'll be able to get plenty, and don't have any issues with supply limitations this time, which is nice. It's a good thing that we're also in 2023, because the supply limitations aren't really there compared to 2021 when there was still the pandemic supply limitations. But that issue's been resolved now, so Gemini has promised there will be plenty. But really, this is the last big model that did not exist in 400 or 200 scale in the North American market. There's some other markets that still are missing stuff, but Gemini Jets primarily focuses on the North American market anyway. So them producing this was really like the last big missing gap that collectors are waiting on. And so it's finally here. We're finally able to get one to represent the 120-something that Delta has in operation. This is a SkyWest one. I was really close to my guess. I think I guesstimated that we get 276 Sierra Yankee. We got 274 Sierra Yankee. So close on my guesstimate. But I'm really excited to see this model come in. I'm very excited to make a review of it, talk about it, and it's a model I've been very excited about. Editing Citrus Aviation here from the future again. And the ERJ-175 from Delta is now out, and people have now gotten it. There are pictures of it online. The Gemini Jets picture is out. I'm going to show some pictures of it here on the screen so you can look at it. Here we have the official Gemini Jets picture. This one looks pretty good. Actually, it looks really, really good. But the big question is the wing flex fixed? Because the ERJ175s from Gemini Jets have had an issue where they have the wings are not at the correct angle of attack. In fact, they're angled so far up that it's unrealistic. It'd be almost unrealistic even for flight for it to look like that. So a lot of people are concerned, will this model still have that problem? And looking at it, it looks like they did actually fix it. The Gemini Jets picture looks great. It looks very well detailed. Looks like there's a lot of good stuff on here. And the color's right. All the details in the correct place for 175. And then you take a look at some pictures. This one is from Aviation 34 Left. Thank you so much for being a contributor in my Discord and for posting some pictures. But yeah, he put it out there, some pictures, and it looks correct. They actually fixed the wing flex on it. It looks accurate for 175, looks great. I'm very happy with it. So they fixed it. It looks great. The model's going to be fantastic, and there are plenty to go around, which is awesome. I did have to cancel my orders because I moved to Salt Lake City. I didn't have a new address to send them to, so I'm reordering them. Hopefully I'll get my models here in the near future, and I am going to have the Delta 175 in my collection. So what do you think of the Delta 175? Are you getting any? Did you buy them, or did you want them, or maybe we're waiting and now that they look good you're gonna buy some? This will be plenty for everyone, and it looks like it'll be a great model. I can't wait to get mine. Now that I'm here in the Salt Lake area, I'm gonna have to do some SLC updates, which is good because there are a lot of 175s for SkyWest operate out of Salt Lake City. So I'm excited. The models are gonna be great, and Gemini just did a nice job on it. Speaking of with Gemini Jets, has 2023 been the best year of releases ever? Now, this discussion is primarily going to focus on Gemini Jets, but there's some other companies you could put in here, like NG Models, which, believe me, we're going to talk about the other brands here in a second. It's not just all going to be a Gemini Jets video. The other brands will get their representation too, but we're starting off with talking about Gemini Jets. Gemini Jets really this year has stepped up the game, and partly because this is their 25th anniversary, so they have a ton of really special models they're releasing for this 25th anniversary. In fact, I'm just taking a look here myself, my tuner scale self, for some of the models I picked up this year. I haven't bought as many this year as I normally do. This year has been a quieter year of purchasing models for budgetary reasons, because I live on my own now, and even though I make more money now, it still is a thing where, you gotta budget for the expenses that you have. But still, the models I'm looking at are some of the ones I picked up from Gemini Jets that came out this year. On the top, there's the Antonov 225. What an incredible model that is. New mold as well. Tons of new molds came out. So far, I think we've had about a dozen new molds from Gemini, which is impressive. But yeah, the Antonov 225 is awesome. They released the 1/200 scale 124 as well, and that'll be joining it, sister ship alongside. So that'll be coming out. I'm really excited for that. It's in the same livery too, so beginning that they've now made 2 of the 124s, and they made only 1 of the 125s. That's in the final livery before the aircraft was destroyed. The Delta Team USA A330 Neo, I have that down there on the bottom shelf. We've got 2 1/72 scale aircraft. We got the Piper Cub and the Cirrus. Both those are new molds for this year that came out, and they're really, really good. They have released since a second Piper, which I'm excited to get, because that looks like it'll be a nice model. So I'm excited to see how these Gemini models turn out. But so far we've been getting good stuff, and the quality has been better too. Not as many issues with quality control problems this year is what I'm noticing. I haven't had as many come broken, which is nice to see. So I'm excited to see what else Gemini Jets will come out with this year. I mean, the year's not even over. So we still have another 2 release sets to go. We got a November and December set coming. And I'm excited to see what the best ones... Well, if this will be one of the best years. So far, this October set was really, really good. Also, the Air Force One BC-25A. United States Air Force 747. That'll be a great model. We had the interactive MD-11 come out. The interactive 767 come out. Several other great new molds. So this has been a great year of collecting model airplanes. I haven't been able to pick up everything just because of you know, some limitations. I got that BA-A350-1000 that came out. I think that was this year as well. The flaps down, a third release for them. Which, even though I know that the third release is a bit repetitive, it's a model that I've needed in my collection, so I'm happy to add it. So it's a good model. But yeah, this has been a really good year of new releases for Gemini, and tons of great stuff coming out. So I'd love to know what you think. Also, the Antonov 26 came out. That's a really good mold, and they released that in the October set with the Cubana. And then JC Wings did a Ukrainian Air Force version, which is really cool. So, your opinion down below. Has 2023 been one of the best years of collecting? NG Models, too. Tons of releases. NG Models has broken several records now this year for most number of models that's come out in one release set. I think they've broken the record like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, they're producing so many, it's ridiculous. And their molds are actually good quality molds, which is nice to see. Sometimes I do question some of their printing, but like overall the quality of the models is really, really good. That brings us on to molds. And NG Models did a thing. They announced 18 new molds. And this was like a month or two ago they announced this, but I want to still talk about it because it's still relevant. That even though they released these molds, or announced them a little while ago. Let me pull up, when was this? It was back in September, so a month ago from when I'm recording this video. 18 new molds in total is what I counted. That's a lot. So we're just going to go over some of them here, and then I'm going to talk about what I think they're doing with these. So first off, 400 scale, Airbus A330 800-900 Neo. Then we have the Airbus A340 200-300. And we have the 737 MAX 7 and MAX 10. So that complete their MAXes and the Airbus 330s, and then they'll start to make A340s. Won't surprise me if they do the 500 and the 600 at some point. 200 scale, they're going to be doing more aircraft. They recently announced the 757-200 in 200 scale, but they're going to be doing more. And they announced they'll be doing the 737 700, 800, 900 NG, so that'll be cool. And then back to 400 scale, they'll be doing the 747-200 with GE CFM56 engines. They are finally announced the 747 Classic, that's nice. And then they're doing the MD-80s, the MD-81, 82, 83, 88, and the 87, which is the little MD-80. They also announced that they'll be doing the 747-400 with the Pratt & Whitney 4000 series engines. That's really cool to see. We've been needing a new 747-400 mold. Gemini Jets, JC Wings recently announced one, but they haven't really utilized it all that much, so I presume that the NG Models one will get a lot more use. And then 200 scale, NG Models will be doing the 737 MAX 8 and MAX 9. So that'll be exciting. So a ton of new molds. 18 total, that's quite a few. So I'm interested to see how those turn out. I think they count as 16 because they count the MD-80s as just 2 molds, even though it really is 4 separate molds for the MD-80s because they're 4 variants. But I'm counting as 18, even though officially number 16. Still quite exciting that NG Models is announcing all these molds. Now, questions are, when are they actually going to get these molds out? Because right now, they're just rolling out the 747-800 mold and the 757-200 mold and 200 scale. Those are just finally starting to go into production. Those will be arriving to collectors very soon. So those haven't even arrived yet. So if those haven't even arrived, what can we expect with the new molds? And also, they recently just announced the first 737-600 too as well. So that's those are 3 new molds that still haven't sewn up to collectors' hands yet. And so we still got a little bit to go with these 16 new molds. What I think they're essentially doing is they're getting ahead of the competition. They're announcing these molds. These are probably the molds we're going to see over the next year. It's probably not coming out right away, even though they have the mold samples for them. The mold samples are sewn up on yesterday's airlines and at some collectors. So I am looking forward to actually seeing the models themselves, and maybe getting a mold sample myself. I don't know if NG will send me one. They sent me the Maxes, the Max 8 and the Max 9. The video I did on that did pretty good. But I would love to see more of these. I would love to actually get my hands on a few more and give my personal takes on them. The 747-8 is finally arriving at the collectors here soon, as is the 752 and the 737-600, but the others are still a ways out. So I think they're announcing them ahead. These are what you'll see over the next year. And they're getting ahead of competition, because I know that Phoenix have been making, like, for example, a lot of 747 Classics and such. And so NG's like, hey, we have these molds coming too. You may want to wait for our version. It's a very Gemini-style tactic that they've done. So NG Models, I think, is doing the same thing. So I'll be excited to see all these new molds come to fruition and to see them showing up in collectors' hands. And, you know, this is really just probably going to end up resulting in NG making even bigger releases than we've seen before. We're probably going to be looking at like 40 to 50 model plus releases just become commonplace now from NG Models, which is ridiculous. But that's where we are right now. So NG Models is pumping out models. If you really want tons of high quality models, NG Models will get you covered. So that brings us on to releases. We're going to start with the October 2023 Gemini Jets releases. I'm doing these in order from when they came out and were announced, but we already talked about these a little bit. The headline is obviously the 400 scale Delta 175. This release though was really good. Tons of good models in here. We had the Alaska 737-800 Salmon People livery, which is not going to be as good as the NG version, but you know, still decent if you're looking for it. I mean, it's fine, but get the NG ones better. The Cubana Antonov 26. That will be a nice model though. Quite a nice model. We're getting the Spirit A320neo. That's a good model. I don't know if I'd call it a good model, but it's a good release. That one has the new cockpit windows, essentially. The updated titles, new cockpit windows, and that's basically it. So, NG's new Spirit A320neo with the slightly older version of the new livery. It doesn't have the cockpit mask on it, so if you need the cockpit mask version, the Gemini is the only one you get for now. Although I suspect NG will do theirs soon. And then the WestJet Saab 340B in the new livery is really cool. Yes, it is new livery. Someone did confirm that to me. And then if somehow you've missed out on the past 15 billion UPS 767-300 releases, they made one for you too. They did Kansas Air National Guard KC-135R as well. 200 scale, some really good stuff here. I want to say this is the first time we're seeing the 747 SP mold show up in 200 scale with the flaps down. Someone tell me if I'm correct on that, but I think this is the first time I've seen a flaps down version of this mold. So new mold, I think, is what that is. Also, the United States VC-25A, often referred to as Air Force One, also showing up here. I will be picking up this model because it's one of the ones I've always wanted, so looking forward to that. Also, the new livery 333 for Emirates showing up, as well as the Delta 319 200 scale. Looking forward to that coming out 400 scale, but the Delta 319 200, oh, definitely picking up that one. And then we are getting the Antonov 124 200 scale. That picture is already available, and it looks really, really good. I'm excited to see that model. That will be such a nice model. Yeah, but that's the Gemini October releases. Really good set overall. That brings us on to NG. I haven't done a video on NG in quite a while, but they are making so many models. It's kind of ridiculous. We're getting yet another American 777. I don't know how many of these they can keep doing. This is like the 5th one they do, but this is a typical thing at NG. They'll start doing a aircraft airline combination, and they'll make every possible version, which is cool if you're looking to get as many versions as possible. Some people think it clutters the release, but I think it's cool for people who want to collect everything. So the Chrome 333 comes out. We do have yet more British Airways 222s, which I know is starting to annoy some people, but this is like number 6 and 7, but these are coming out here, a couple of special releases there. The Delta A319 is one that I'm super excited for, because this will be better than the Gemini Jets one that was just announced, or was announced in a future release, I should say. Hasn't been officially formally announced yet, but it is on the future release. Delta 319 though is coming out by NG, and I'll be picking that one up. That'll be very nice. Then we had the Spirit 320S and Spirit 320N. Oh, sorry, not 320N, that was previous month. We have two Spirit 320s. One with the circlets in the Bearfare, and one without the circlets in the new livery. Interesting they did not make the Bearfare one, because Panda made that, so I think that's why they're not making that. They're doing Alaska 320s, 320S, and a 320 in the Giants livery. Cool to see that. Nothing really of interest there. 200 scale, they are doing the first 737-600 within the Austrian Airlines version, so that's cool. Getting a bunch of CRJ 200s. just trying to see what here kind of fits my fancy. I do like the Dassault Falcons. Those are cool. They're doing a blank one, which I think is quite interesting. A blank Falcon. They need to do a blank version of all the private jets, so they need to do one for the Gulfstream G5 too. Because therefore you can just customize it, or you can just have blank livery. I'll probably end up buying this, because that'll be nice to have. And then we are getting a BOAC 747-800. This is BOAC like standard livery. They also made like a cargo version too. They released like a few months ago, so it's kind of cool. It'd be awesome to actually see like them do all the British Airways liveries on the 747-8i. That'd be kind of cool. But we are still waiting for a regular passenger version, like West Korean Air, because I want that. West Lufthansa, I want that. West Air China, I don't really need Air China because I have the Gemini one. But I definitely will pick up the Lufthansa and the Korean Air versions. So that's that for NG. I did skip a bunch of stuff because they have a lot of stuff there that's not of interest. So that brings us on to JC Wings, who released a lot of interesting things. One that I'm picking up, a model for Soy, United 757-200 with winglets, blue tulip, 555 Uniform Alpha. I'm picking this one up. I love the United 75s. I've flown on 2 of them this year, and actually 3 if you include the 300 I flew on. But I love the United 75 too. I love them in the blue tulip livery with the winglets, so nice. I'd only had a few blue tulip winglet 752s, and this won them, and it's now in 200 scale. I'll be picking up. I assume a 400 scale release will be following, which I will pick up as well. And then 400 scale, we move on to a Amazon Prime A or ATR. These were released through Silver Airways, but at least did expire. I'll be picking up the first release because that was an aircraft that flew into Des Moines. So I still need to buy that model actually. Haven't picked it up yet. But that's a good release there. They also are doing a Lot Polis Max 8, which I need to pick up one for my European airport. And then the Lufthansa 747-400 with the limited edition air tag. I probably picked this up because I love the Lufthansa 747s. I hope to fly on one here soon. Haven't done it yet, but I hope to have that happen. And then just a model of interest here. A couple models of interest. EasyJet A320neo. That's a good model because a lot of people want an EasyJet A320neo. I'll probably have to pick it up too for my European airport. And this one has the Neo titles on the rear. So that's a good model. Then we're having the Fuji Dream Airlines E170. Cool to see that. Hopefully with this one, this model is not an indicator of some of the issues that the Delta one might have. That's really why I'm looking at and focusing on it, because please don't have those issues with the Delta one. So that's it for this video. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Well, let me know what you think. I haven't done an aviation news video in a while. Let me know if there's some things that you want me to cover in particular, because this is so that I love doing. I love covering what's happening in the model aviation space. Let me know if there's more stuff you want me to cover. So that's basically it for this video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Have a great rest of the day. God bless you.